So as you're well aware of right now, and probably terribly sick of at this point, we're in this incredible pandemic and we're under all this stress and we can't practice and we can't work out with our teammates and we don't know how long this is going on. And it's really interesting though, in really stressful times, we have an opportunity, and it might not feel like an opportunity, but we have an opportunity to get in touch with strengths and resilience that we never knew we had. My name's Dr. Alan Goldberg. I'm a sports performance consultant, and I work with athletes across every sport, at every level, from Olympian and professional all the way down. And I help athletes manage fear, overcome performance blocks and slumps, and perform to their potential. And today, what I'd like to talk about is I'd like to talk about that resilience and that inner strength that you have, that all of us have. And I'd like to do that by introducing a client that I worked with a very long time ago. This is a woman who taught me that at your own funeral, you can learn a tremendous amount. Now you might wonder, well, don't you think it's a little too late at your funeral to learn something? Well, Maggie had a near drowning, and she came to me with a fear of the water. She couldn't get back in, and used to be a scuba diver. And this is the story that she told me. She was out with her fiancé off the coast of Gloucester, Massachusetts, and they were diving for lobster. And she shouldn't have been out there that particular day. She and her fiancé, on some level, knew that they shouldn't be out there. There were small craft warnings, but Maggie's fiancé convinced her it's okay, no problem. And they were down at the bottom looking for lobster, and she got separated from him because of the turbulence, lost track of where he was, went up to the surface to try to find him near where their boat was, and she got put in this life and death double bind at that moment. As she got to the surface and she was looking around, she got smacked in the face by this really big wave. And it took her air hose and mouthpiece and it tangled it on the back of her tanks. And at the same time, to her horror, she discovered that her buoyancy regulator, which is that gizmo that allows you to go up and down with this heavy equipment on, she discovered it was malfunctioning. So she was being pulled down by this heavy equipment, yet she couldn't go down because she couldn't, she's not a fish, she doesn't have gills, couldn't breathe. So she started struggling, and she struggled for what she told me felt like a really long time, probably was only a minute or two. And she realized at that moment in her struggle that she wasn't going to be able to make it. She actually believed she was going to die. And what she did was she stopped struggling, and as best she could, she floated there, and images spontaneously popped up of her funeral. Her parents there being upset, her friends, her fiancé, and what they were going to be saying about her. And she got, call it energized, angry, I don't know what it was, but something snapped inside of her, and there was this tremendous will to live, and she just, for whatever reason, did this backflip. And the flipping motion disentangled her air hose and her mouthpiece. She was able to put it in and go down, find her fiancé. They were able to get her back to the shore, and she was fine, except she now had this fear of the water. And she had this fear of the water because what she was focusing on was how weak and vulnerable she was through this stress, through this trauma. And what I helped her see was, on the contrary, this situation got her in touch with an amazing strength and resilience. Her unwillingness to give in, her unwillingness to quit. And again, you're in a situation right now where everything is up in the air, and we don't know when we're going to get back, and we don't know how it's going to be, and we don't know whether we're going to be as good as we used to be or how we're going to be able to train. And I tell you this story because I really want you to get in touch with this inner strength that we all have. And it's at times like this, the most stressful times, the most times of adversity, that we can really get in touch with this incredible inner power. If you like this story, if you like some of the other videos I have, please leave your comments. As I say all the time, I'd really like this to be personalized so that I'm addressing specific issues and questions that you have. Leave me some comments, leave me suggestions about what you'd like me to cover in the future. If you really like the material, subscribe to my channel, hit that bell icon, and I'll be talking to you again soon. Stay safe and stay in touch with that inner strength.